What's up, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot for Watch Along Wrestling. Trying something a little different here today. With so much wrestling going on, I decided I'd film my live reactions and I guess review of everything as it happens, and then I'll just post everything as soon as Money in the Bank goes off the air. Right now I'm out getting some steps in. It's a beautiful day here in Long Island, New York. It wasn't earlier, so you can see it's a little muggy behind me, but pretty nice day. Figured I'd go get some steps in. I can't be that big of a bum and sit on the couch the entire day, even though that was the plan to start the day. But Worlds Collide just went off the air a little while ago, and I had so much fun watching this show. It almost reminded me of the days of NXT TakeOver, where you'd have this absolutely incredible show the night before. This, of course, is just mere 90 minutes before the main show that WWE was putting on. And oftentimes it would be like, follow that, because the show was so incredible that it'd be hard for WWE to be able to produce a pay-per-view where oftentimes none of the matches were as good as the matches that were on the NXT TakeOver show. I had a blast with this show, Worlds Collide. If you have not seen it, go out of your way to check it out. The Chad Gable versus El Hijo de Vikingo. It's little Nats on the Java Chamberlain here. What the heck? But this match was one of the best matches of the entire year. These guys went out there and absolutely killed it. Jokes and gimmicks aside, I'm not sure how Chad Gable is going to now participate in one of the Money in the Bank matches later on, but kudos to that guy. There is no reason why Chad Gable should not be booked as one of the main event players in the company. He's perfect. He's as close to Kurt Angle from the early 2000s as anyone has been, and I feel like WWE should really get behind this guy and just push him to the moon. He should be right there with everyone else. I think he's that good. And obviously El Hijo de Vikingo, if you've ever seen him, every time he's out there he gives 110%. Stuff he does is unreal. I think the guy's like 28 years old, and so he's really just hitting his peak now, if that. Maybe he hasn't even gotten there yet. So he's awesome. So much fun. Other highlights of the night, of course, the man of the show. If you have not seen this show, you will hear about this man time and time again. It is Mr. Iguanas. This guy was hilarious. He stole the show. He made the absolute most with the time that he was given, and he's someone that you're going to be hearing about, if you haven't yet, all over social media. And honestly, I thought he was one of the more fun characters I've seen in quite some time. A real harken back to Santino Marella and some of those more zany characters of the past. I just thought he was so much fun, and it was really great to see him. And so I hope that we see him again soon in a WWE ring, at least in some capacity. They already have his shirt on WWEshop.com, so I don't know if that was planned or not, but it is up there, and good for that guy, because I thought he was hilarious and a real breakout star. One of the big things coming out of the show as well, we did get a fifth match. I definitely believe that Triple H watched the official Watch Along Wrestling Money in the Bank preview show this morning and said, you know what? Let's give my man some credit. He's right. 4 matches for a PLE is far too little. We at a minimum got to give him a fifth match, and so we have it. It is now Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Octagon Jr. In all seriousness, I think that was probably the plan from the start. Get people to feel like if you didn't tune into Worlds Collide, you really missed out on something. So that match is official for Money in the Bank. I'm excited for that. Also on the card, I do want to make mention that I thought Stephanie Vacour is quickly becoming a grade A for WWE. Like, she is a huge star on the rise for them. She looked great at Worlds Collide. They hit a double. It was her and Lola Vice. They hit a double Devil's Kiss, and the crowd was ready to hit the ba, 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 ba along with them in honor of one Booker T. It was really funny and a top moment on that show. Overall, if you watched Worlds Collide, I hope you enjoyed it. It is now about 20 minutes from bell time for Money in the Bank. So excited for this. What a fun day of wrestling. Let's have more of these. Let's have these back-to-back shows, or, you know, 2 shows in a day. Why the heck not? I'd imagine if you were at Worlds Collide and you got tickets, and that show did very well too. I think I said it had like 11,000 people who bought tickets to Worlds Collide. So a lot of interest in this show. And not only that, but I think there was something like 450,000 people watching live on the WWE YouTube channel, and another 270,000 people watching live on the WWE Espanol YouTube channel. So, I mean, that's great for a show that, I mean, they didn't put so much hype behind. They didn't promote super heavy. So I think that's awesome. And hopefully more of these shows to come. Hopefully they'll become annual traditions. The shows they used to do back with NXT and NXT UK were always great. And I thought this one was fun too. So at any event, getting ready for Money in the Bank. Great to come out and get some fresh air. Thanks for joining me. And let's see how this show goes. Hopefully it's a good one. Oh my Lord, I got that walk in when I could. It's been a pour. Gotta get inside. So about 7:45 p.m. Eastern now. The women's Money in the Bank just went off the air. And actually, sun is shining. The Yankees and Red Sox got underway with no issue. So it was a Florida storm for us. It did come down real hard, though. But what an incredible match to kick things off. I thought this was a really great showcase for the women's division, especially we're about a month out of the next Evolution pay-per-view, so I'm excited to check that one out, and I thought this was a really good kind of prelude to that. I thought all 6 women looked great. In the end, Naomi did get the win, as we predicted on our pre-show, preview show, prediction show, whatever you want to call it. I thought this was the right move. I feel like Naomi has done a great job in really revitalizing her character since turning heel. And I think that she's really looked great in the role. And when she won, she looked total badass. She has this badass theme. She picked up this briefcase, held it up high. I felt like this crowning achievement really for her. And I'm sure kind of the capper on what's been probably a pretty stressful couple of years for Naomi. So really happy for her. Again, like I said, I thought her run in 2017, when she was feeling the glow, I thought she should have been one of the real top stars of the women's division. And now has a real opportunity to do that again. Seems WWE is behind her, and I'm excited to see when she'll cash that in. And this will only add to the heel, I guess, character of Naomi moving forward. Let's get into a couple of highlights of the match. Alexa Bliss came out first, got a massive pop. I mean, a massive pop. I thought it was a massive pop at least until Mommy came out, because when Rhea Ripley came out, place became unglued. There's a reason why she is the focal point, really, of all things WWE. She is crazy over. They even showed the little decibel deal of everyone going nuts in the Intuit Dome. Intuit Dome, by the way, looks like this super sleek, incredible building that I have to get to at some point. It looks like it's just the best venue to go to for a wrestling show. So at some point, got to get out there and see a show because it looks incredible. But yeah, every woman who came out looked great. It's always nice in these Money in the Bank matches. They give everyone time to come in with these entrances. And I think that, even though I'm critical of them only having a few matches on the PLEs, I think that is what they can do when you have lesser matches. And I think it really does help in kind of having a showcase for each one of the competitors. Spot of the match, I'll tell you, the Devil's Kiss is over today. They had the double Devil's Kiss earlier in the night that I spoke about with Lola Vice and Stephanie Vacour. This match, Stephanie Vacour hit the Devil's Kiss on Rhea Ripley on the ladder that was set up as a bridge between the ladder and the turnbuckle pad, and I was able to hit that, and the crowd was ready to go with the ba, 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 ba. Didn't miss a beat. They were excited for it. They teased it earlier in the night, and earlier in the match, and when it didn't happen, people were very unhappy. So they got that. That was really cool. Also, stereo code reds from Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez while they were both standing atop of the ladder, and they both hit the code reds onto the ladder. It was amazing. Really cool stuff. And then, obviously, it comes down to Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley. It looked like the two of them were going to be your final two. They, at the same time, Alexa Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss, and Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide, and they both kind of slow look at each other like, all right, this is it. It's on. It's going to be between you and me, kind of the two veterans of the match along with Naomi. And they go ahead and they both climb the ladder at the same time. They get up to the top of the ladder, and then they both realize this was so great, because typically in a ladder match. I feel like the babyface is a fool. The babyface is just completely clueless and unaware of their surroundings. Not the case here. They both saw Naomi coming to get them, and Naomi was the only person who was going to be able to stop them. So they both tried to get down the ladder at the same time, but weren't quick enough. Naomi tosses the ladder over. Both Bliss and Rhea fall down face first onto the ladder, and then Naomi climbs up to take the briefcase. This was awesome. This match was great. Great opener, and very excited for the rest of this show. Now I believe next up here is Dominic and Octagon Jr. Let's do it. Well, that was quick. And if your question is, am I happy now that WWE added a 5th match? The answer is yes, I am. Even though that one, again, you know, harmless, but no more than 5 minutes there. Dominic Mysterio over Octagon Jr. clean. Octagon Jr. gets the showcase on a WWE PLE, but unfortunately, you know, it was pretty one-sided. It's honestly a glorified squash match there, so I'm not sure what the deal with that match was, but at the end of the day, they had a little come-down match. I think after a Money in the Bank ladder match, you need some sort of buffer between that and the matches on the show. But Dom looked good. It continues, gives him a successful defense. I feel like sometimes in order to build up a successful reign, you need really good, emphatic defenses, and that's what that was there for Dominic. And we move on, and next up is going to be Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. By the way, they did just show a little preview for SummerSlam tickets, and I got the Rock feeling there. Tickets go on sale, individual tickets this week, pre-sale on the 17th, actually next week, pre-sale on the 17th, and to the public on the 18th. So I'm excited. It's coming here sooner than we know it, and really enjoyed seeing that package, and it's getting me hyped. You know, when I first decided I was going to do this tonight and do my live reactions as the show is going on, I thought this is going to be really tough, but it is not hard to do at all in the middle of a WWE PLE anymore due to the amount of ads and breaks that they have between matches. It's actually really conducive to someone who's making a video like this. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch in the books, and new Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch wins the title as we had thought. So we thought it was only going to be one title match. There were 2 title matches with the Dominic Mysterio match added to things. But this one was a title change. Becky Lynch, the new women's champion. I think that made the most sense. Great match between the two of them as they've had in the past. I really have enjoyed this rivalry, and I'm glad to know it will continue on. And of course, the stipulation was that if Becky Lynch were to get the win, Lyra would have to hold her arm up high. So Becky does get the win with a little chicanery. She did hook the tights. Michael Cole was disgusted. You know, I think that plays into this new Becky Lynch character. I think if Becky Lynch is a heel, she's got to be against everything that she was as a babyface, which was, you know, having that honor and, you know, being straight up with all of her matches, this, that, and the third. And so it makes a certain amount of sense that she would be hooking the tights and doing whatever she needs to do to win the match. So she does get the title. Then after the match, Lyra Valkyria did hold up her end of the bargain and held Becky's hand up high, even though she looked pretty unhappy, pretty disgusted. And then she went to leave, and Becky said, "Oh, no. Now you've got to put the belt around my waist." Lyra would go ahead and do just that, but then hit her with a belly-to-back suplex. And then she hit her with her finish, I think it's a Nightwing or something like that. Someone will tell me in the comment section. But yeah, really great match. I knew going in this one would be good, and it did not disappoint. And now only 2 matches left here. We've got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. They did just do a deal where Pat McAfee was playing with figures, and he recreated what he thought Money in the Bank ladder match would be. And he did a recreation of LA Knight winning the ladder match, which makes me a little worried because typically if the announcers are picking somebody, then that person doesn't go on to win. And I've been building it up in my head of the excitement of LA Knight winning this thing here, especially after we got a heel winning the first one. But that's not a good sign. So we shall see. I'm excited for this one though. Men's Money in the Bank. This should be a lot of fun. I hate you, Solo. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match is in the books, and boy, was it a doozy. Match of the night so far, in my opinion. This was incredible. Just total demolition derby stuff. So many twists and turns along the way, and in the end, Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank for the second time, 10 years later from when he won the briefcase the first time. I guess actually 11 from when he won the briefcase, but obviously cashed it in 10 years ago. And, even though it felt like they had made this so obvious that that was the direction they were going, felt like this was going to be Seth Rollins' power play to really bring his group to the next level and bring himself to that next level. But when they make it so obvious, it's almost like, well, is that the direction they're going to end up going? They got there, but again, there were a couple of twists and turns along the way. Moment of the match, I'd say, for sure, was when Seth Rollins had called out, obviously, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Out they came. They demolish everyone. It looks like he'll just climb the ladder and go and get the briefcase. But JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu would come down to second solo. They came out to kind of go against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and it looked like they had this big clash, and Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo got the better of everyone. Jacob Fatu really did. JC Mateo was speared by Braun Breaker through the kind of barricades, and so Fatu lays out everybody, and at the end, no one's there. He clears the ring, he stands in front of the ladder, he sends Solo up there. Solo's like, yeah, you're my guy, Jacob, you're my guy. And then he grabs Solo's foot right as Solo has his hands on the briefcase. Solo looks down, he's like, what's going on? And he does. He screams up at him, I hate you, Solo. And Solo's my guy. Everyone knows I was rooting for Solo Sikoa to get this chance to kind of ascend back into the main event picture, but this was very well done. Harkens back sort of to the Batista storyline from 2005, 20 years ago, which is crazy. It's 20 years ago. But this was so much fun. And then at that point, once he was cleared, everyone seemed to be out and about and done. Seth Rollins goes to climb up the ladder, and they gave the best tease ever. I had jumped off my couch. I was screaming they're going to do it because LA Knight jumps in there, pulls Rollins down, but it was not enough. Rollins ends up laying LA Knight out with a curb stomp, climbs up, and ends up getting the briefcase, and for what the story they're telling. Now, I did not want Seth Rollins to win. I don't think Seth Rollins needs the Money in the Bank briefcase, but for the story that they are telling, it makes sense for him to be the guy. Again, it's just he's got an upper hand every single week. It looked like this was Seth Rollins against everyone, and at the end, Seth Rollins got the win. No CM Punk, no one there to stop him in the end. It was just him getting the briefcase. Everyone screaming, no, 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 no. But he got it. It doesn't take away from a great match, though. Some incredible moments throughout this. Penta with the Destroyer through the ladder. They had a variety of incredible spots. I think everybody comes out of this looking good. There was a moment Andrade. It looked like Andrade was going to win. He was struggling to unhook the briefcase and was almost hanging from the little contraption up there. The greatest moment for me is when someone was up on the top of the ladder and LA Knight kind of springboards El Gran Americano in to run up the ladder, and he leaps up to the ladder, center of the ring, has the little metal pad in his helmet, gives a headbutt to whomever it was. I think it was either Penta or Andrade who was at the top, and it looked like he was about to grab the briefcase. I thought he had it, and instead LA Knight was able to run up there and catch him with a devastating move off the top of that ladder that knocked both of them out for a bit. But so many great moments. I highly recommend this match, and the big story between Solo now and Jacob Fatu on the road to whether it be SummerSlam, whether it be maybe in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions, who knows? Saturday night's main event still to come. But main portion of this is that Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu are no more. Jacob leaves the bloodline, presumably turns babyface in a great moment, and Seth frickin' Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, one more time. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Wow, what a finish at the end of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view this evening, premium live event. I'm so amped up, I can't even remember to call it a PLE. As out of nowhere, who should return to cost John Cena and Logan Paul the match but R-Truth? I couldn't believe it. I'm short. I have not had an opportunity. I came on here with y'all right after it ended. Didn't get a chance yet to listen to the post-show. Don't know if Triple H is talking through any of this dialogue around this particular story. I don't think he would. I'm guessing the story that will come out is that this was some sort of elaborate storyline from the start. I personally don't think that's the case. I think that they were seeing R-Truth as a potential cost-cutting measure. I think that they had it in their mind to let his contract expire, just like he revealed on his own Twitter or his own X account. And then this week, it's been crazy. You think about it, it's only been 6 days since R-Truth came out with the tweet that he was his contract would be expiring and he's going to be, quote-unquote, released from WWE. And all week, it's been all about R-Truth. I mean, you know, Raw, people were going nuts for it. Wrestlers showing solidarity, and Rhea Ripley posting the video of her with R-Truth's shirt on, and everything to that extent. It looked like it shocked the wrestling world, and I think the outrage and the outpour of emotion from both fans and wrestlers alike, I think, certainly got them to reconsider. And credit to them. They listened to the fans. And you got to give Triple H credit in this regime. They've listened to the fans a couple of different times. Certainly the entire WrestleMania 40 main event up and changed everything. When the crowd was demanding Cody in the spot, they were supposed to go with Rock and Roman. And they end up going with what they ended up going with and getting Cody Rhodes back involved, as they should have from the start. I do think that he needed to be involved in some way. Whether or not they gave you the Rock Roman match on night one, whatever they decided to do. I think what they did ended up working out great. But unbelievable finish tonight. I did not see this one coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming. And if you have not seen it, it was a situation where, to his credit, Cena had, I think the match was pretty good. And I think also with the star power involved and with the personalities involved, the crowd was so amped up for this and so excited that I think that you would have had to have a situation where the match was just awful for people not to be into it. And I think the match was really good. So at the end of the day, the crowd amplified that by being so involved with all the personalities. And it ended where John Cena had Cody up on top of the new announce desks. And these announce desks are not supposed to break, from everything I've told. And it looks like they're like some real sturdy, high-tech type announce desks, commentary tables, and what have you. And Cena ends up having Cody up for the AA on top of the table. Cody dips out. Jey Uso spears Cena, and he hits the top of the announce table. And so now Jey Uso is laying on the announce table. Logan Paul hits an acai moonsault, a thing of absolute beauty. This thing was picture perfect. Hate Logan Paul all you want. Send me your hate mail in the comments. I thought this was awesome. It just looked perfect. And when he hit it, the table exploded. Like boom. Just went right through the table. So they're now laid out. They're out of the match entirely. I thought for sure at this moment Seth Rollins' music was going to hit because Jey Uso was sent through the table and he was obviously in a bad way. Not the case. That's good. We're supposed to have Jey Uso and Gunther tomorrow night on Raw, so I wouldn't have made any sense for them to have the cash-in happen and then have to cancel that match in Phoenix tomorrow. So that match is going to happen. There was no cash-in. But this left Cena in there with Cody Rhodes. Cena takes the belt, clocks Cody on the head of the belt, and all of a sudden a masked man comes out of the crowd in a hoodie, couldn't tell who it was, spears Cena, looked a little smaller than Roman, but certainly when he speared Cena, my immediate thought was, oh, maybe it's Roman, right? I didn't know who it was. And then obviously I noticed that he was certainly shorter than Roman, so it wasn't going to be him. And lo and behold, pulls his mask off, and they got us. It is R-Truth. And, you know, whether or not they listened to the fans, whether this was an elaborate hoax, it was such a cool moment. It was awesome. Got me right in the feels, too, because the way I viewed it was they listened to the fans and they, you know, this outpour of emotion for R-Truth really brought him back and got him an opportunity to come back. And so, you know, hopefully he is back. I mean, it could very well also be, you know, my main man Steve, I'll give him credit. He might have said, hey, listen, his contract is expiring, and it hadn't expired yet. So maybe this is his last hurrah before his contract expires, and maybe even he ends up saying goodbye tomorrow on Raw. Who knows? Or Monday on Raw, but who knows? But what a cool moment, cool finish. I love when they get me. You know, I've obviously been a huge wrestling fan my whole life, internet wrestling fan for like 20-some years. So I feel like I'm pretty hard to fool, and they certainly got me, and I love when they're able to do that. I love when things are able to be kept under wraps and a huge surprise. And this certainly was that. Also, Cody gets the pin on Cena. I do assume that Cody will be facing Cena here soon, whether it be in Saudi Arabia or whether it be against Cena at SummerSlam. You know, Cody Cena 2, obviously a big deal, and that match will be a lot of fun at SummerSlam. One of the other highlights of the match, of course, Logan Paul has this drone that is incredible, and he comes out with the drone, he lets it go, it goes all the way around the arena, comes right back into his hands, he perches it up on the Prime bottle, and then he uses it to go viral. This time around, when he went to utilize it to go viral, he was caught. And so there's actually great footage from the drone of him getting suplexed off the top rope and then splashed by Jey Uso. So it was a very cool moment, and I actually think it'll be something that probably will go viral now, and it'll be a fun little bit there. So that was very, very cool. And one thing that I have to touch on here before we get on out of here is that holy smokes, are there a lot of ads. If this is something that bothers you, you must be very upset this evening, because not only were there ads all over the ring mat, like there were ads on the ring post. There was a 7-Eleven ad. I was like, wait, is that somebody's logo? Oh, that's 7-Eleven, right? I kind of wanted to go out and get a Slurpee in the middle of the show. They had it on the ring skirt. They had it on the barricades. They had ads on the frickin' on the frickin' ladder for the Fireball whiskey. Ads were all over this show, and that is certainly a sign of the times. You want to talk about one thing that I think is absolutely an influence from TKO Sports. I think that is the number one influence. That's all you see on UFC, and that is certainly all you saw tonight. Is it a horrible big bother for me? It's not. Yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of, it's fine. I'm not going to get too upset about it one way or the other, but definitely a change. If you're not used to seeing that in WWE, and for many years you never did, you can't avoid it. It felt like I was surrounded by ads, and I'm sitting here at home. So very interesting. But it's what it is. WWE's a promotional juggernaut. Every single one of their between matches, they were promoting a big weekend in Atlanta, big weekend for SummerSlam, weekend at Fanatics Fest coming up. They have so many at the Saudi Arabia show as a part of Riyadh season. They have so many different things that they are promoting. Huge Raw with the return of Nikki Bella and the main event with Gunther and Jey Uso. It's a never-ending cycle, so give them credit. Obviously, they're very successful and continue to be so. So overall, I thought this was such a fun day. What a fun event. If you were there in LA, what a fun day, right? You probably went to the Kia Forum. I think they sold like 11,000 tickets there, 17,000 tickets for Money in the Bank, so you most likely walked across the street. It did look like there wasn't much time between the shows, and so when the show started, there was a bunch of emptiness, and I think it was because people were still making their way over from the Worlds Collide event. But I'm imagining it was the most awesome experience. So if you were there, good on you. You probably had a great day. I had a blast watching all of it. Hopefully you enjoyed this day-long reactions. Very rare for me to be able to do this, but my mother took the kids. My wife is studying, so able to jump on here with all of y'all through my day with my reactions, and had a lot of fun with it. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section below. Tomorrow I'll be back giving my thoughts on the worst kept secret in the world, the location for WrestleMania 42. We'll talk about it then. Until next time, everybody, Money in the Bank. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. I'll catch you all in the next video.